5 mystery numbers. Probably best give you an example of this. Write down 5 positive integers such that they have. Now these are the things that you are offered: a range, a mean, a mode and a median. For example, a range of 7, a mean of 4, a mode of 2 and a median of 3. And you put the numbers into these boxes. You can scribble around, obviously, do some calculations, and the aim is to put the numbers in ascending order, because that makes it incredibly plausible, possible, not easy, but if you don't do that, then you really are asking for trouble. Let's look at each one individually. A range of 7. A range is the difference between the highest and the lowest numbers. So given these boxes, that's the difference between this subtracting this, and therefore we end up with, in this case, 7, a range of 7. A mean of 4. Well, a mean is you add up all the numbers and divide by 5, because there are 5 numbers, and in this case it's 4. Now, what number divides by 5 to give you 4? 20. So the total of all the numbers is 20, and this is the important thing. So the moment you calculate that, forget about mean of 4, just remember that the total of all the numbers is 20, and you can just write it to one side. A median of 3. Well, this is the good one. If you get the median of 5 numbers, you know that it is the middle number. The middle number when written in order. The middle number is 3, so when you get your 5 boxes, you can put a 3 here, which is really useful because you know that these numbers are less than 3 and these numbers are greater than 3. And because they're positive, these are going to be 1s, 2s and 3s. They can't be 0s or negative. A mode of 2. A mode, the most common occurring number. So 2 occurs twice. It could occur 3 times or 4 times or even 5 times, but that would be a very boring question. 5 2s. So what we know is we've got a 3 as per the last example, and we've got 2 2s, so we can have the 2 2s here. We can't have them here because the numbers are in ascending order. Let's put it all together then. We've got 5 positive numbers and we've got these features. A median of 3, well, that's straightforward. Put in a 3 in here. A mode of 2, we can't have 2s up here. We're going to have 2s here. We have to have more than 1 to make it the mode. These numbers are different. They're greater than 3. It can't be 3, or 3 would also be the mode. The mean is 4. Sorry, I'm going to look at the range. The range is 5. So the range goes from 2 to whatever's up here. It's 7 apparently. So this is 9, which is useful. And we know that the mean is 4, and there's 5 numbers. So the total of the numbers is 20. So I'm going to add up all these numbers and see what number this is, so I can get 20. 2 and 2 is 4, and 3 is 7, and 9 is 16. So this would be 4 to give me 20. And these numbers uniquely satisfy all of these conditions. Sometimes there is more than one answer, but that shouldn't bother you. All you need to do is put down an answer that works. You don't need to be worrying about whether there's another answer. So let's have a look at this example. Range of 6, mean of 6, mode of 4, a median of 5. Right, well, median goes straight in. A mode of 4, so there's going to be 2 4s, and that's going to fill in here. The range is 6, so we've got that between the distance. This less this is 6. Oh, this is going to be 10. And we know the mean is 6, and there's 5 numbers, so they all add up to 30. 6 times 5, and we can see we've got 8, 13, 23, so that means that's a 7, because that'll get us up to 30. Again, this is a unique set of numbers. Here's another one, not a unique answer in this occasion. Let's see what happens. We've got a median of 7. Great. There is no mode. Ah, well, because that's a shame, because modes are good. They take out 2 numbers. There's a range of 8 and a mean of 8. So the difference between these 2 numbers is 8, and the mean is 8. So in that case, we've got 5 numbers, so they're going to total 40. We know there's no mode, which means that there are no duplications of numbers. Each number is different. We've got to get to 40, which is an average of 8, and this is 7. I don't want to have 2 small numbers here. because otherwise I'm going to find it difficult to get up to 40. So I'm going to this is a trial and error, and I might put this, actually write it underneath, but I'm going to write it in the boxes. 6 and 5. So they're just guesstimates. I'm just playing really. If I have a 5 and then the range is 8, that's 13. And let's see if I can get to 40 with something reasonable. 5 and 6 is 11, 7 is 18, and plus 13 is 31. So if I paint this 9, I get to 40. And this is an answer. And I would stop now. I would check that all these things apply, which they do. And I'd be happily move on. But it's possible to come up with a different solution. Had I put this in as 4, then 4 plus 8, this would be being a 12. And then doing the same sum to get to 40, this 9 would be in 11. So this is an acceptable answer, 4, 6, 7, 11, 12. But don't worry about that, because one good answer is enough. Right, here's one for you to try. It's not particularly easy. I'm going to stop the tape. No, I'm not going to stop it. You stop it and try and answer this question, and I will show you the answer in a moment. That moment is now. Let's have a look. A median of 8. Good. The range is 8. Okay. The mean is 9 now. There's 5 numbers, so the total numbers are 45. Again, there is no mode. All these numbers have to be different. The mean is higher than this number here. So I do not want these to be too small. So let's go with 7, 6 and 7 just as a guess. 8 and 6 is 14, so I get 14 there. Now, is there a number that fills this space? 6 and 7, 13, and 8, 21. Is that right? Yeah. 6, 7 and 8 is 21, and 14 is 35. And we want 45, so I can make this a 10. Other answers are possible, but I'm not really interested in that. I just want one good answer. So, these are, I think, the order that you do things in. Look for a median. Banker, because that will just put the number in here. Look for a mode. A mode now is quite good, because if you've got a median, you know it's going to be these two or these two, depending on whether it's bigger or smaller than the median. A mean will give you the total, and a range will give you the difference between this and this. So if you're lucky enough to have these two, then you can work out the other one. But ultimately, sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, and you have to do some fiddling. You have to do some trial and error. And that's when it gets tough. And if it gets too tough, just leave it. You might get a mark for what you've done already. Thank you.